Are you in this bandwagon that it's the Patriots to lose, or are you somewhere else in the middle?
Yeah, I think it's got to be the Patriots to lose because whenever the other team's missing their starting quarterback and Jarrett Stidham just hasn't had the reps because he hasn't needed to. I think there's a stat rolling around about how limited. I think that he's the only backup to not get any reps over the last like 2 years or something like that. I'm not sure what exactly the number is, but it's something that generally says that Jarrett Stidham or whoever the backup quarterback has not been on the field. And so I think when you look at it, the Patriots obviously have to take advantage of that. But like you said, the Broncos have a really good defense. Patrick Surtain, just one of the best corners in the league, a guy who was Defensive Player of the Year last year, a guy who has really just been phenomenal and always been one of the top corners ever since you go back to his days in high school. Has just been that guy. And speaking of, this is a fun matchup for me because I remember when Jarrett Stidham was coming out of Stephenville. I think I was still covering high schools at the time. And it's funny, when I was at the Dallas Morning News, Jarrett Stidham was at Baylor. And a lot of the Baylor team, after Art Briles was fired following the scandal, they all kind of left and transferred and waited out. Well, Jarrett Stidham didn't have anywhere to go that year. So he was waiting to go to his next school. He was going to a junior college in Waco that did not have a football team. So he ended up being the scout team quarterback for Waco Midway High School, which is one of the best high schools in the state. But he was the scout team guy because he was like, I need to get reps in. I need to throw. I can't play anywhere this year. I can't enroll because it's before the portal and all of that. So he's sitting there being their scout team quarterback, and then he ends up committing to Auburn and going and having a career there. So it's been interesting to see the success he's had. And so as someone who wrote that story back when I was in Dallas like 10 years ago now, it's crazy to see Stidham having this kind of success. Also, the Broncos roster, just a bunch of guys from the South who have been balled out, like Nick Bonito. I remember when he signed in Oklahoma. Will Jordan Humphrey, South Lake Carroll guy. I think PJ Locke, he's from like the Beaumont area. So, I mean, we can just go on and on. As a former Texas high school football reporter, I think that's my running like party trick is like, oh, where did that guy go to high school? I can tell you. So I think that if you're the Broncos, you want to try to limit Drake May, try to force him into some bad decisions, try to manage the game as much as possible, and give Stidham kind of an easy path to make, play from. If you can play with the lead, play in front of the sticks, it's going to make things easy. So being on schedule, being on time, going to be huge factors in this game.
100%. And all of that background almost just gave me a little bit of boost. I felt like a Broncos fan for a second. I was like, yeah, we can win this game. Did you just hear what Ben said about Jarrett Stidham?